then I would recommend.
It's homecoming, which means it's time for sweet, sweet Cougar football. The Cougs are set to take on the Hawaii Rainbow Warriors in what should be a good game with a feisty Hawaiian team that almost didn't do really all that well against Boise State, but did surprise many people. Yep. Only gave up 28 points to arguably one of the better offenses in the country right now. Cougs came off of a tough game against Fresno State that they barely won on a pick six, really changed the momentum. Yeah. We've got beautiful skies here in Pullman at Giesa Field. The clouds are seeming to clear up as we're about to start here in about 7 minutes. Norma, are you excited? What are you excited about?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I just think that, like you were talking about, the Rainbow Warriors really surprised me, and we were talking about this kind of before the broadcast. Hawaii defending against Ashton Genty, he averaged about 7 yards a carry against Hawaii, and he usually averages about 10 or 11. So they managed to slow him down a little bit, and they capped Boise State at 28, like you said. I really thought they were going to put up much bigger numbers than that. Not only that, but some of their best wide receivers, including Cameron Camper, had season highs against Hawaii with 120 yards, and he didn't score a touchdown. So I would not be surprised if this Hawaii defense puts up a good fight against the Cougar offense. But one thing to note is that they are 0-2 in away games, and they are on a 2-game losing streak. So this could either kind of light the fire underneath them, kind of like motivate them for a win, or it could totally kind of make them feel depleted, humbled, things like that. So I'm excited to see how they react to having kind of a rocky start to their season.
Yeah, the Cougs enter this game 5-1. They look to improve to 6-1. They are one of the top teams estimated to win out the season. Obviously not that strong of a schedule, yeah. But Fresno State gave them troubles last week. Hopefully they can get it done against Hawaii today. Yeah, Hawaii, as we said, 2-4, not exactly. It's going to be the Cougs game plan here.
So, yeah, one thing to know, before we even talk about game plan, this is the game the Cougs need to win for bowl eligibility. This would be their 6th win if they take home a win today. I think it's a strong, strong bet they're going to win. But some keys to the game, as they run right out on the field now, you can hear the crowd getting a little bit hyped up. We got some nice crowd noise for you in the background today. Fireworks going off. The QB matchup today is going to be what I think is kind of the lay of the land. What QB is going to step up? It's going to be Braden Shager for Hawaii, and then, of course, John Mateer for the Cougs, but they have similar completion percentages. Shager at 60% completion overall this season and Mateer at 58, but they both have rather significant amounts of interceptions. They both have had 6, with Mateer having 2 really ill-timed interceptions in the end zones. But their difference is kind of their strengths. Hawaii is not a rushing team. They passed the ball. They only had 15 rushing yards last week against Boise State. And, that's a choice. I wouldn't have done it particularly myself, but I get it. If you don't have the run game, you go with what works. But yeah, and Mateer, obviously, he's not our best passing quarterback. We've had a lot more significant quarterbacks doing that in the past, but he averages 6 yards a carry. He's athletic, he scrambles in the pocket, and he can find those routes, making it complete for 5 yards, a first down. He inches down the field, and it really does add up after a while. So I'd say that's the first key. What quarterback's going to show out? Pressure on the safeties for the Cougs this game. They like to throw, and every touchdown that they've had, one against Boise and the last couple in their game previously have been by 25, 30, 40 yards. So they throw downfield. That puts pressure on our safeties to take those routes away from Hawaii. And like I said, they're not a rushing team. They have to really pull back off that line of scrimmage to make sure that that man-to-man coverage is right on their wide receivers and those routes are taken away. And just again, to put that into perspective, Hawaii only rushes for 642 yards. This sure that the Coug defense is pulled off in that backfield and just ready for those long passes downfield. And I'm just curious to see how they set up on defense.
And can we talk a little bit about Wayshawn Parker? The freshman running back has been doing a stellar job, one of the top freshman running backs in the country. And his role here today is going to be very important as his game directly impacts John Mateer's ability to stay in that pocket and ability to not scramble and actually make those throws. Yeah, absolutely. And, we talk about running game. John Mateer leads the team in rushing yards this year. Wayshawn Parker this year, obviously he's starting. He averages about 5.2 yards a carry with 62 carries for 325 yards and 2 touchdowns. But not only that, I don't just want to talk about him. He's going to be key to kind of messing up that Hawaii defense and keeping them on their toes because we do have to switch it up. We can't have Mateer kind of running up that middle doing a QB draw every single play. So not only that, but I do also want to talk about Cooper Mathers, the tight end from Seattle. He's a senior, and he has not had a lot of reception this year. But let me tell you this crazy statistic. He's had 3 receptions and 3 touchdowns. So he's batting 1,000 right now. I think he's going to be a weapon for the Cougs in the end zone. Along with Wayshawn Parker, we've had trouble in the red zone. We've been intercepted in the red zone. We have not been able to kind of complete those drives. We've had drives where Mateer goes 5 for 5, 6 for 6, and we just can't get it done in the end zone. So I'm wondering if they're going to utilize those kind of stronger, kind of bulkier guys and just push it in and punch it in for 5. And the coin toss just happened here. We've got about a minute according to the scoreboard. On Hawaii's side, you said Shager, he has really just been a passer. And when he is pressured, he's thrown 6 interceptions so far. John Mateer also has been, kind of scrambling quite a bit. So how is that going to kind of play into the game that they have today? We don't quite know. Yeah. He scrambles like an egg in that pocket. He takes so many precious seconds off the clock, especially when they're down by a touchdown or a field goal. We saw last week against Fresno State. He came out strong. He was getting rid of that ball within 5 seconds. But when he gets nervous, he scrambles around for 10, 15, 20 seconds, and then all of his options get taken away by defense pushing downfield, and then he ends up running up the middle. And oftentimes it does work for him because he is such an athletic quarterback, and he's not afraid to go helmet down, go in for the first down. But I don't think that's going to be quite as effective. As teams study more and more of our film as the season goes on, they're going to realize he does the same thing every play when he is under pressure or when those defensive linemen are coming at him, he does the same thing. So I think he needs to switch it up. And Hawaii's Tylen Hines is a player to watch out for. He had the lone touchdown against Boise State. So he is definitely a dynamic player. He gets their kickoff returns and punt returns for Hawaii. So it should be interesting to see him. The teams are taking the field now as Hawaii is set to kick off to the Cougs, which means Hawaii will get the ball in the second half. Hopefully the Cougs can come and punch them in the mouth here to start off this home game. Yeah, and, today's kind of our vintage day, throwback day for the homecoming rally. Cougs and their Washington State College helmets with that, kind of old sailor cap Cougar, and Hawaii sporting their island helmets. They look great out there on the field today. It's kind of reflecting back into my eyes a little bit, but that's all right. Yes, they do. We got some beautiful jerseys here. We've got about half of the student section full. Definitely a good showing for a 12:30 game. Yeah.
And it'll keep piling in. It's Parents Weekend. We've got a lot of tailgates going on. We've got the field house and, beer gardens all set to go. So some kids might have to drag their parents into the game.
By number 54,
number 10 on the return,
Jamie Otis. And that was number 10.
It's going to be John, yeah.
Leighton Smithson with the return there for the Cougs. So it looks like John and the Cougs, Mr. Mateer and the Cougs will take it off at the their own 20-yard line.
And it looks like they're stacking on the left, so we'll see kind of what they do here.
John takes the handoff, fires a quick out pass to the left side. That's caught and makes a few moves. We got a flag, though.
Might be some holding in the backfield. They're on the Cougs on that kind of lateral pass from Mateer.
And that was a pass to Chris Hudson. Yep. Looks like it's going to be called back, potentially a hold here.
Smart play action on the first play. Trick up Hawaii a little bit. I think we're going to run it. We are running team, much to the late Mike Leach's chagrin, I would say.
And we've got some early boos from the crowd here. Definitely don't want to see a penalty on the first play of the game.
See if they can recover it here. It's now 1st and 15. Or excuse me.
First
and 10.
1st and 15, I would assume.
First
and 15 from about their own 15-yard line. We got motion in the backfield. That's Kyle Williams. Handoff to Parker. Parker makes a few yards and is tackled.
I don't think there's going to be much of a gain there. Maybe 1 or 2, but he was kind of stuffed right there up the middle. Not the best choice from Mateer after play action right before.
Yeah, tried to get a little bit of distraction there with Kyle Williams running across.
Yep.
And Parker is in the backfield again. 2nd and 13. Mateer scrambling, looking around. He bounces out left. He's looking downfield.
Completed that route there. A lot of pressure from Hawaii's defense. It's going to be the safety, Justin Sinclair, the senior.
And so now we have 3rd down and 16. So long 3rd down here to start the drive. Definitely something you don't want to see, but John is in the backfield by himself. And the snap, he's looking left. Throws down the middle to Hudson.
There you go.
And Hawaii is signaling no catch. Let's see what the refs say.
Yeah, they might have to review that one. He looks like he kind of came down on the ball and almost tackled it there. Might have landed on his stomach, but they're going to call that complete for a 1st down.
And that's complete for a 1st down. What an amazing play to get there by Hudson. Just to the stick.
Yeah, that was a great play on, Washington offense. They all scrambled right, and he had 3 open receivers just right there ready for him, and he chose one up the middle. I think that's smart because they kind of assume he's going to go up the middle, push right, and then he did just that, and that's going to be a timeout.
And looks like the refs are going to review the catch here, so potentially could be called back. It was signaled a catch, though, by Hudson.
Yeah, that would be kind of a disappointing first drive for the Cougs, not only, just because we don't get the 1st down, but because it does look like John Mateer is trying kind of what we talked about in the pregame, getting out of the pocket early, looking for his wide open receivers. And we, obviously we have a better view from up here in the the press box, but I'm really noticing that they're stacking right, and he's got tons of options, 15, 20, 30 yards downfield.
Yeah, you definitely like to see them kind of get that key of the game, run the ball. Obviously, we are an air raid offense.
Yeah, and to be honest, though, Mateer, he looks a lot better today. I would say he looks a lot more calm. He's setting his feet. He's pushing it downfield, and that's like I said before, that's what I want to see from him. Passing for 5, 10, 15 yards. It's not about those pretty, really crowd-pleasing Hail Marys, that are 50 yards downfield. It's just whatever gets you 1st down. And I think he's being smart with that right now. But I would like to see him utilize his tight ends because they're right there for 5. You can see him just push 5 yards back. Right now they'd be about at the 40. So I want to see that happen a little bit more because Mathers has been an absolute weapon, like we said before.
Yeah, you definitely like to see him get the ball into more players' hands. You find it going to Hudson, Williams. Not so much Parker. We're including him more.
Yeah.
But you definitely like to see some like Mathers get involved. Meredith had a great Apple Cup game.
Yeah.
You know, he's largely been he did not have an impact against Fresno State. So
I think he had about 9 yards, 9-yard reception in the game against Fresno State. He averages 15 yards per carry, though. That's a first down and a half, if you want to put it that way. He's got 2 touchdowns this season. Both of them are against UW. And that, again, that's a game where Mateer passed almost 400 yards. So, I mean, that was definitely kind of where we shone as a team. But again, like as we're saying, Hawaii, they're coming off a game against one of the best offenses in the country. And it looked like the ref here is going to give that ball under review to the Cougars for a first down. Ball was caught.
So Cougs complete on 3rd and 16. And they get a fresh set of downs here.
Yep.
They've got 2 wideouts either side. Parker in the backfield. Mateer signals for motion. And hands it off to Parker, who goes left and is stuffed. They're going to blow the play dead there. Just nothing there for Parker. Didn't quite get the blocking assignment that he needed.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be can do that at all this game.
And Pulalasi's in the backfield now, as it is 2nd and 10. John takes a snap, throws left, complete to number 24.
That's Cooper Mathers.
Cooper Mathers.
I predicted it. He's definitely, one of my favorites. Again, that's a pass right there. That was complete for 7. That's what I'm saying. I think he's going to be very productive if you let him.
And the snap is to Pulalasi, who makes a good way about halfway to the next first down. It'll be about 2nd and 4.
2 good plays there, running out the clock a little bit. 3 minutes into this first quarter. Cougs look decent. They look ready to go. They look calm, which is good because they usually kind of start off a bit shaky, a bit confused.
Yeah, definitely putting together a good drive here after that shaky first set of downs. Snap to John. This is Parker. Parker weaves his way through. Gets about 2 or 3 yards here. So it should be a short 3rd down, about 3rd and 1. Definitely completable, much more than 3rd and 16.
Yeah. And, we talked about Wayshawn Parker. I just really want to see him utilize those quick passes. There's flag down.
Parker. And Parker goes nowhere, but we do have a flag in the secondary.
Yeah, it looks like that's going to be on Hawaii. We'll just have to see here.
Potentially a offsides.
Yeah, illegal substitution there on Hawaii.
So the Cougs will get a fresh set of downs on that mental mistake by Hawaii.
Yeah,
and they will be in Hawaii's territory.
Cougs are lucky again. That's 2 flags on the first drive on Hawaii. They really got to clean that up if they want to really utilize how good their defense really is.
John takes a snap, throws it out wide. That's Meredith. Meredith is taken down after getting about 6 yards.
Number 8,
Carlos Hernandez, my bad.
Yeah, Hernandez opened his season last week against Fresno after injuring his ankle in the preseason. That was his first game with.
Looks like Pulalasi is in the backfield for WSU. Mateer takes a snap, hands it off to Pulalasi, who gets stuffed about maybe a yard. Got back to the line of scrimmage at least.
Yeah. And it looks like John Mateer is relying a lot more on some of his offensive players. A little bit of a tussle there. Hernandez and a Warrior coming off the field. A little bit of a brawl, but looks like they've got that sorted out and they're ready here for the snap.
Yeah, it just looked like a little shoulder bump there coming off the field for a substitution. We've got 3rd and 4 here to keep the first drive alive. John is set to take the snap. We've got some commotion on the line of scrimmage, and the snap is off to Pulalasi. Makes a move, gets behind a block, and is stuffed.
Yeah.
Looks like the cornerback came over there and made the play.
Yeah.
And looks like they will be short of the first down.
Yeah, it looks like
4th and 2.
Yep.
And it looks like they are going to go for it. The offense is still on the field.
And that doesn't surprise me. Jake Dickert, as we saw last week in Fresno, at this point, he's kind of known for taking some risky offensive moves. He went for 2-point conversions last week in the first half of the game for seemingly not really any reason, rather just to try it out. And we go for it on fourth quite a bit. So
looks like trying to ignite his offense here early. Matier takes the snap, hands it off to Pulalasi, who is short of the first down.
Yeah.
He does not get the spot. And it will be a change over on downs for the Cougs. Hawaii will have the ball at decent starting field position at their 35.
Yeah. And, like I said, we watched that play about 5 times just now. Running it up the middle is not going to work against the Warriors. Like you said, the cornerback came over and pushed it lateral, so he had nowhere to go. He couldn't go forward. He had to go to the side. Cornerback comes over, snaps him right there. They're going to do that every time if we continue to add Pulalasi, and I think the reason they're doing it is because Matier likes to do it, but I'm pleased with what he's been doing on offense so far, pushing out his options. He didn't play them much in the start of the season, so there's not a lot of film on them. That makes them unpredictable, and it gives them a bit of an edge.
And it looks like the balance here for the Cougs has been pretty good in that first drive. We had quite a few runs and definitely some good pass plays that kind of moved the chains, but definitely keeping Parker and Pulalasi in the mix. And hopefully that'll kind of wear down that Hawaii defense and make this game easier as it goes on.
Absolutely.
And you wonder how much the injury to Cougar punter Nick Haber is to maybe that decision that Jake Dickert made there not to punt the ball. Because obviously you're not quite in field goal range, but does Janikowski have that sort of touch? Janikowski has been taking the punts for the Cougars the past couple of weeks. And, obviously you wonder if he has that sort of touch that Jake Dickert would like to pin him back.
Totally.
Maybe that influenced how much they're going to go for it on like a 4th and 2 situation.
Yeah, but, to argue that, it might put them in the same field position either way, because if he is not a strong punter, it would still put them at the 35 or the 30. But we are going to head down to Bailey Peffer on the sideline to give us kind of an update, injury, see what the field's looking like. So we will send this over to Bailey.
Jacobs currently working as a home medic with the home urgent care unit. Technical Sergeant Riley Crane, rest from Idaho. He joined the military in 2018. Riley is currently a biomedical technician with a 141st Air Refueling Wing out of Fairchild Air Force Base.
Good afternoon. We're at Giza Field where the Washington State Cougars are set to take on Hawaii Rainbow Warriors. We're just kicked off in what is promised to be an exciting matchup. It is hot today. Surprisingly, we play with a little bit of chill, but we do have coming. And they are reminiscing their college years. Looking forward to the game and how it will unfold. Back to you guys. We'll see you later.
All right. Thank you, Bailey.
And Hawaii's offense is taking the field right now. They are led by Braden Shager, a guy who throws for at least 200 yards a game. You wonder how many yards he's going to put up. He put up almost 400 earlier this season. You hope that the Cougs don't give up quite that much.
Well, and we talked about this earlier, comparing the quarterbacks. Who's the better quarterback? And I'd argue it's Matier. He has the same amount of interceptions with no running yards. Same amount of passing yards with no running. So I want to see what he does right now.
Shager takes a snap, rolls left, throws wide open, caught and tackled around midfield. That is number 1, Jonah Panoke.
Yeah. That's a characteristic play from Hawaii. We talked about this before the game started. Shager, he throws for 20, 30, 40, 50 yards. They just threw for 20, automatic first down. If they continue to do that, they will march down the field.
Shager takes the snap, fakes the handoff, looks right, throws to number 3. That is caught and tackled immediately on a slant route.
Yep.
Number 3, Nick Sinakal.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. Looks like we're changing the defense up a little bit. They're moving forward. Yeah, because that was kind of an explosive 2 first plays for Hawaii. I think they might need to change this up a little bit. And need a new defensive line right here.
As we know, the Cougs kind of struggle in the first drive, especially on defense. Big runs typically, but we will see here. 2nd and 2. Fakes the handoff, throws left. That is caught and down to the Cougar 35. That was number 2, I believe.
Yeah, and Jonah.
I believe that was Tylen Hines, as we talked about in the pregame, who had that play.
Yep.
So move the chain. 1st and 10. Hawaii's rolling here. Shager takes a snap. Looks right. Looks left. Pressure coming. To make the completion to the 30. That is one Pinoque. So Pinoque had a productive first drive here. He's got 2 receptions, and that is a 6-yard gain.
Yeah, Shager goes 3 for 3, and he's gotten 3 first downs. So if I was Cougar defense, I would step back just a little bit. Make sure you take all of those routes away. The safeties really have to do their job today. We talked about that earlier. They can't get tired out like they did against Boise State.
And Shager takes a snap, looks right. Looks like we have a screenplay. That's Tylen Hines. Hines makes a move, makes a man miss, goes right, stays in bounds all the way down to the Cougar 18.
Yeah, and that was kind of a mistake there on Nick Senecal for the Warriors. He kind of stepped out of bounds there, maybe on accident, because he had wide open backfield there for a touchdown, and he seemed to kind of just, I don't know, maybe he didn't have that great of a vision of the field there. But they're now down at the 12-yard line. That's a quick drive. That's explosive for the Warriors.
Yep, no problems here.
Yep.
Making the easy completion. Shager's just kind of taking what he can get, and he's all the way down in the red zone. And we've got 2 wideouts each side for Hawaii. They're lined up on the right hash. Shager takes the snap, looks left, goes through the middle, now pulls it down, and gets a few yards on that play.
Yep.
Something that we don't know him as. We don't know him as quite a dual threat quarterback, but as you could see there, I mean, he had no problem getting out of that pocket.
Well, yeah, and his offensive line did a great job of kind of breaking up and giving him a wide open lane right there, pushing him off to the left. And yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't take that.
So score is 0-0 here in the first quarter. We have about 5 minutes and 30 seconds remaining in the quarter. It's 2nd and 7. About a 1 or 2 yard gain there. That was 30. Landon Sims.
Yeah, Cyrus Webster, the edge rusher for Wazoo, he did a good job reading that. You know, I think it's easier for them to read those runs than it is for them to pass this because that's kind of what they practice on. So, you know, stellar defense right there. Took it down almost immediately.
3rd and 4 here for Hawaii. They are on the Cougar 6-yard line. And Gisa is rocking. Sugars are running back in the backfield. It's Sims. And looks like we've got a timeout. Timeout.
Alrighty, and as they go to timeout, so will we. We will be right back here to see what Hawaii does with, 4 yards to the end zone. We'll be right back.
All right, how are we doing? We doing okay?
I think so. Thank you.
All right. So do you want to lead us into the racing stuff, or do you want me to lead us into it?
You can do it. That's on you. Sorry.
No, it's all good. All right, I thought we did pretty good. Yeah.
I thought it sounded great. Yeah.
Today we'd like to honor fellow Cougar police officer Matt
names aren't coming to me automatically.
graduated from WSU.
It's hard when they're moving around in the backfield and you can't tell. Yeah.
Got married at a couple of years in Fort Worth, Texas, and joined the police department there. 7 years later, in 2016, he joined the pursuit of a fugitive and ended up shot 6 times in his head, shoulder, chest, and leg. It wasn't so bad, much less return to regular life. But Matt had different plans.
They literally did exactly what I said they were going to do. I'm so annoyed.
Went back to work full time with a Fort Worth police department.
Hawaii. I'm like, but we can, we'll go in at 45 and do these. Okay.
Thank you for your support.
Are these final?
Take a look now at the many awards today's Teacher of the Game presented by Vista. Today we're joined by a special family of educators. Ryan Smedley is the principal assistant at Willard Elementary in Spokane. Has been in education for 6 years. Ryan is joined by his family. Will is WSU College of Education alumni. Steve, the class of 1976. Caitlin, class of 2020. Family members Jay, Tyler, Megan, and Lily, also educators in the state of Washington. Thank you, Smedley family.
And back at Giesa Field, you're listening to KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse. We have some score updates from today. The Miami Hurricanes won 52-45 against Louisville. Number 16, Indiana, destroys Nebraska 56-7. Missouri beats Auburn 21-17, so they remain in good standing to be ranked. And Clemson, number 10 Clemson, beats Virginia 48-31 as we are coming out of the timeout here.
Yeah, lining up again now at I want to say that's the 6-yard line. Making the Cougs a little bit nervous here on third down. I don't think they were as productive as they wanted to be.
Big third down here. Let's see if Hawaii can convert or score. Shager with Hines in the backfield. Shager rolls right. Nothing.
Oh, yes,
and he gets tackled. Grabbed by the foot. What a play there by number 52.
Kyle Thornton there.
Kyle Thornton.
Yeah.
We know he's been making big plays all year. He's kind of everywhere. Just grabbed Shager's leg there, and it's fourth down. The kicking team is on the field.
Yeah. Not the biggest player, but definitely a productive D lineman. He comes in at, comes in at 6'1" and 230 pounds. Again, not a huge guy, but did the job quite well.
And Matsuzawa of Hawaii drills the field goal.
Yeah. Not a hard field goal, 15 yards. Kind of a quick, easy 3 points. Would have been a real weird decision to leave points on the board there. So,
yeah, so Hawaii is up 3-0 against Washington State here. We've got about 3:54 left in the first quarter. And, the Cougars, man, we told them to, get active, get ready. They kind of always start slow. Defense starts slow. And you wonder, what are we trying to look for here? Because the Cougars, they always start slow. What is it going to take to really, not have that happen and, most importantly, be successful against Hawaii today?
Yeah, well, I think they need to read the defense a little bit better. I think Mateer needs to be a little smarter with the plays that he's running. It would not be, I think in the Cougs' best interest to run it up through the middle twice in a row. Hawaii's been on that, and again, we're 5-1. Those 5 games have been hard fought. They've been hard won, except for Portland State in the season opener where I believe they won by 40. But again, with these are legitimate competitors that we're facing off now. Hawaii, I wouldn't discredit them. I think their defense, I believe they're top 30 in the nation for defense. Boise State, they've got a Heisman contender on their offense. We can't discount these games because it's Mountain West. We need to come out with the same explosiveness that we did at Boise State. John Mateer threw for 452 yards at Boise State. I want to see the same thing. We can't discount these games because this game is the bowl eligibility game. We need to have 6 wins to get in. They got to just get it done. And they can't play down to Hawaii's level. They got to play up to how they played in that first half at Boise State. They kept Boise State to 10 up until, I believe, the last 3 minutes of the second quarter. So I know that we can. I just think we need to be able to read the defense, see what's open down the field. We got to make big plays like that, get that morale back in the receivers so they know they can do their job. A lot of the times, either they don't finish the route, John Mateer passes it out too quickly, and they're incomplete, broken up, and they don't have the confidence that I want to see from them yet. All of the receivers on Washington State's team don't have any more than 100 yards. So I would like to see him utilize them, give them confidence, make them feel like, yes, I can get this ball to the end zone. I'm, on this team for a reason. Show the fans what they can do.
And about 30 seconds left in the TV break here.
Another update here from the world of Washington State athletics. WSU women's soccer will head up to Spokane tonight to play future Pac-12 opponent Gonzaga, and they'll face the Bulldogs here tonight right after the game at about 5 o'clock. And WSU women's volleyball, ranked first in the West Coast Conference, comes off a massive win and a comeback win at home against Oregon State. And they are playing right now down in SoCal against the women of Troy at University of Southern California. So if you're interested in any of those games, head over to those other channels, or if you want, head up to Spokane and support your Cougs.
And Hawaii is set to take the kick. This is number 69, Ben Falk. So different place kicker and different kickoff kicker for Hawaii. Looks like it's going to be a high punt to the right.
It's a good punt there from Hawaii.
And fair catch at about,
I'd say the 18.
18.
Yep. That was smart from Hawaii. They kick it off from the 35. That has the potential to go way into the crowd and the band in the backfield, but they did good right at the 15. That's a 10-yard disadvantage for the Cougs, and they only have 4 minutes left to, essentially score a touchdown in this first quarter before they have to kind of reset and lose any momentum they might have on this drive.
And Leighton Smithson did not get a chance to return that kickoff as the Cougs take the field. John Mateer by number 1. That is Peter Manuma. So great play there. He just kind of got around Andre Dollar, the tight end for the Cougs. Couldn't make the block.
Yeah, and that pushes the Cougs back just a little. I think they maybe gained a yard. Those lateral passes just might not work on these really talented edge rushers for Hawaii.
2nd and 12 here. Mateer looking right. Throws it to Williams.
And that's going to take it from 2nd and 12 to, like you said, 3rd and 8 here. 3rd and 7, excuse me. I'm looking for something downfield here from Mateer.
And looks like we've got communication with the sideline. Ben Arbuckle, he likes to run the no-huddle offense, try and get some pace on this offense, keep everybody involved. There.
Yeah, play action seems to be working for the Cougs today. They opened the drive with that first, and they picked up a first down. They just did it again. I think it really kind of trips up their D-line.
And takes a snap out to Williams quick. And going to go all the way back across the field to the right. And looks like we've got a big play coming here. And out at the 40. That was Williams. So Williams started all the way out on the left and juked his way back and started running to the right for about a 10-yard gain. And that is a first down.
Yeah, Cougs on the move here into Rainbow territory at the 47. And the crowd is happy about that. That's the kind of offensive play I was talking about. Give them some confidence, get that first down.
And Mateer has Parker in the backfield now. Everyone's kind of close together. Parker motions right. Mateer takes a snap, throws right. That is Hernandez. And he will almost get a first down. That is a 9-yard gain.
Hernandez now, this is his only 3rd reception of the entire season. Like we said, he started off last week against Fresno, didn't do much. I think he only played in the second half, but they seem to be utilizing him this game. Hopefully his ankle's probably feeling a lot better.
And looks like they'll mark it a first down, so about a 10-yard gain there from Hernandez. Good stuff. Cougars have not run the ball yet this drive, and they are marching. Mateer in the backfield. Takes a snap, fakes the handoff to Parker, throws middle. That's Hernandez again, bounces off a tackle, goes left. He's on the corner, he's going 5. Touchdown, Cougs! Carlos Hernandez, what a move.
Yeah, I guess he's feeling better. And I was just about to comment, the Cougs only have 1 minute and 10 seconds to get this drive down into the end zone. But that was gorgeous. I mean, he just ran right off of his back onto the other side. Wonderful play. That's going to put his total reception yards up to almost 100. Almost 50.
And great yards after contact there. That's what the Cougs like to see. Janikowski is out for the extra point. They kind of faked a 2-point play there, but after last week, I wouldn't imagine. And the snap, the hold, and the kick is good. So the Cougs are going to lead 7-3 with a minute left in the first quarter.
Yeah, and like I said, this might be kind of a morale game. Fresno State was rough. Fresno State was rough for the fans, and it was rough for the team And especially after Fresno State lost by almost 30 to UNLV, an unranked opponent for Fresno State. I think the Cougars kind of walked in there thinking they would kind of like breeze right by him, and they really didn't. And I think a lot of that, I don't really credit the Wazoo offense to that. We had a huge play late in the fourth quarter. We were down 5, and I believe that was O'Connor, our edge rusher, who picked off Fresno State and ran it in for a touchdown and was the only reason we were ahead almost the entire game. So I think morale for the offense is important because last game, we would not have won that game had it not been for that interception.
Big plays and individual playmaking seem to be what the Cougs need to really succeed in these past couple of weeks. As the teams take the field here for the kick to Hawaii. Number 2, Hines is back there for the kickoff. Janikowski kicks left, and it is going to go out the back of the end zone. So it looks like we got a little scuffle there between the special teams on that far side. Nothing major. Special teams, always feisty, always want to get their chance.
Especially the punt returners. You always see them just get a little bit, they got a pep in their step. I'll just say that. But, even last week, the Cougs definitely played a little bit of a feisty team. Fresno State having 3 unsportsmanlike conduct calls in one drive. So, I think they're kind of used to a bit of a scuffle, and, I really see that they're ready to take this game home. They definitely woke up a little bit on that second offensive drive.
And Shager is lonesome in the backfield. He's got 3 wideouts to his right, 2 to his left. Takes the snap, looks right, and he's going to get hawked out of the pocket and completes the throw. That is going to be a 25-yard gain to number 3, Nick Sinako.
Yeah, smart play by Shager, too. You said he stacked right with 3 receivers on the right. He runs right and then turns left and throws to one of 2 receivers on his left. That's a great offensive play.
And a great throw there by Shager. If he's going to do that all day, Cougs are in for some trouble.
Yeah. But, we saw this against our game against UW. We are great at stopping in the red zone and holding them to, 4th down.
And Shager pulls it down here for a QB draw, and he's going to get another first down. So 2 big plays to lead this drive off for the Bows. And it'll be 1st and 10 and Cougar territory, about the 42.
Yeah, Hawaii is definitely giving the Cougs something they haven't really seen yet this season. I haven't quite seen this, multitude of passing. Like this amount is, quite a bit more than I think they were anticipating. From even film against Boise State, I don't think they were throwing this much. But it looks like there's going to be a timeout on the field. They will take a quick break.
And we will too. You are listening to KUGR, the student voice of the Palouse. WSU is up 7-3 as we enter the second quarter. And here at Giza Field, the Cougs are up 7-3 over Hawaii as we are set to start the second quarter. Norma, what's happening around college football right now?
Yeah, and Alabama and Tennessee have just kicked off. If you want to head over to ABC and check that out, they're 9 minutes into the first quarter. That's a rough game. Tennessee, I don't know if you remember this a couple of years ago, Tennessee took down the goalposts after a massive win against, I believe Alabama was number 2 at the time of that win. That's quite a big SEC rivalry. They're going to butt heads a lot of key offensive players for them. Kalen DeBoer is struggling a little bit with Alabama, and I don't discredit him completely. A lot of stuff's changed around college football with NIL and getting those really tough players, but I'm not a large Kalen DeBoer fan, so has me smiling a little bit.
Exciting matchup there in the SEC as Big Orange looks to get the win. This is Hawaii now. This is Schlager. Looks like we've got a flea flicker. And complete to number 0.
Yeah, they tricked the Cougs there real good, and I think they thought it was going to be a run up the middle there, and as he was getting tackled, he passed it back to Shea.
And they are at the Cougar 30-yard line, so their drive is looking real good. I don't know why the Cougs thought they'd run. Hawaii seems to only be passing the ball, but the flea flicker works anyway. All right, Shager takes the snap and actually does hand it off, and big hole, number 0. That is Alex Perry again, and he gets it down to about the 15-yard line. Excuse me, is that number? No, that is Perry.
Yep. All the way up here, the numbers feel a little bit crossed. That does kind of look like a 9.
It is a 9.
Yeah.
So that is Cam Barfield. So Cam Barfield made a few plays in a row. Number 0 is Alex Perry. He's a wideout. Pardon us. So they are in the red zone. Hawaii hands the ball off. This is again to the running back. And that is again Barfield. And he gets at 4 yards on that play. So it is 2nd and 6.
Yeah, and he's going to come down and be tackled by Bryson Lamb. He's a second-string defensive tackle. He's going to be in right now for David Gusta. He's a redshirt sophomore coming in at 6'2", 288. So big guy right there. Curious to see if there's an injury on the sideline for Gusta.
And Hawaii's in a huddle right now. You wonder if Buda Alukta can have an impact on this game. Maybe get a punch out. Be pretty sweet.
He's been struggling a little bit. He's been creating a lot of those holes that we're seeing at these past couple games.
And snap to Shager. Shager makes a tackle, and he's going to tuck the ball. And as we were talking about it, Buda Alukta makes a great open field tackle.
You heard me.
Yeah, only a couple yard gain on that play, maybe about 1. So we got 3rd and 6. Actually, no gain on that, so great play by Buda Alukta there.
Yeah, and if I'm Hawaii, I wouldn't leave points on the board. As my dad always used to say, you never leave points on the board. I don't think 2-point conversions even exist to my father, so I'm curious, if they don't get this here, will they go for it on 4th, or will they take a field goal and be down by 1 point?
And Shager gets a snap. He has a lonesome backfield. He's going to throw over the middle and over the head of the wide receiver. That was Hines. Almost intercepted, actually, by Alukta.
Yeah.
Just a little too high and misses everything. And looks like the field goal team is coming out to kick. So
that puts the Cougs in a good position, too, because as we saw last week, we had trouble. We were down the same way, 6-7, 13-14. That's hard to come back against, and it makes it uneven. So even if you do want to tie up that game, you really can, unless you get a safety or a 2-point conversion later in the game. So this is great for the Cougar offense. And
Kansei Matsuzawa to take the field goal. And it is up, and no good. Wide left. Bat it down.
Yeah.
So Cougar special teams makes a play, and Hawaii will still have 3 points. What a play.
Yeah, they might have to replay that. I couldn't quite see who did. They'll put it up hopefully here on the Jumbotron here in just a second. But it looks like he was batted down, kind of clipped off the left there. Kind of an unfortunate miss. That was only from about the 15 yards.
About a 25-yard field goal, and no good.
And the Washington State dance and cheer teams will come out now for a bit of a performance as both teams come into a huddle.
And looks like we've got a TV break here. So the Cougs will start on the 20-yard line. Great drive last time.
Yeah.
You know, they really stormed down the field. They really didn't run the ball that much. You know, what do you think Dickert's thinking?
I mean, you know, batting down a field goal, it's not something that happens every play. I think, you know, like I talked about, morale, boosting up the Cougar offense. I think he's still trying to go for it on plays you really don't need to. He went for it on 4th and 1.